What's up, crap bag?
What's up? Unoriginal. Couldn't think of a name for me or.
I know I almost said, listen, this is what almost happened. I almost said, "What's up, best friend?" And then you go, "Hey, you stole mine from
Yeah,
last week,
it's true. I
and
would
you're
do that.
lying." So that was a split second decision to call you crap bag in honor of Paul Rudd from Friends.
Is that a Friends thing?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
There's an episode where him and Phoebe change their names and she picks Princess Consuela Banana Hammock and he picks crap bag,
I just know the episodes of Friends I've seen when we're traveling together.
which is a lot.
And then every other time I try and watch Friends by myself, I just see the same episode.
Yeah.
One of those things. Like every time you're like, I'll give it a shot. And then you turn it on, it's the same one you've seen up 8 billion times.
They're all bangers, baby.
They're really not.
I know a lot of people feel that way, but I love it. I can't help it. But anyway, a little bit ago, we were DMing each other ugly book covers, and I literally cried. I had 2 eyes of makeup on, and my whole one eye of makeup is gone because I couldn't handle it. Like, people don't have friends to tell them that their artistic endeavors don't look great, and that is a bad friend.
And some people ask, and then you give them your opinion, and they don't care anyway.
Yeah, we also talked about that. Yeah. Well, quite honestly, like, yo, I know, listen, a lot of us are very confident, do it yourself people, but listen, there is some things that you can't do yourself, and you think that you can and you can't, and people are professional designers for a reason. So, like,
This is one of the reasons that when I was doing graphic design, when I was in charge of advertising at Our Magazine, it's one of the reasons I left, is because I could not put up with, I would design something so beautiful and elegant, something that was super smart. I mean, and it wasn't just me. I mean, I was running it past the other designers and the other artists, and we were, brainstorming it and coming up with concepts and ideas and what it meant. And then we'd show it to the person and they'd be like, but can't this be, I want, and it was just terrible. I couldn't do it.
it's hard. There's a lot of people, not just books either, like events, event flyers, logos, like people are, you gotta ask an artist and you have to ask like a Scorpio or an Aries, bro. Like, ask your most honest friend. Don't ask your pushover friend if something looks good, because it doesn't, and they're not gonna tell you, and that's not helpful.
There was a guy, I think his name was David McKnight, and he was an interior designer when I was working at Our Magazine, and he would advertise with us all the time. And he wanted to do, instead of an advertisement, he wanted his advertisement to be what was called an advertorial, where it looks like it's an article, but it's actually an advertisement.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted it to be like a Dear Abby column. And so we did all these designs and we made it look like a Dear Abby column, and it was called Ask David or something like that, or David's Suggestions or David's Tips or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing was he was mad because it didn't show his picture. And do you know what it ended up being called?
I don't know.
Your McKnight in Shining Armor.
Ooh, I mean, doesn't say anything about it being an advice column.
No. And
Yeah.
it ran for one issue, and then he was like, this isn't working. And I'm like, we were like, no, it's of course not. No one knows what it is.
Right. You're like, we're literally an advertising agency and we told you what to do and you said no.
You had half a page of people asking you questions, and you cut it down to half of the ad was a picture of him. Like a quarter in a giant, like 36-point font said, Your McKnight in Shining Armor. And then there was one question in like 10-point font.
Yikes.
That's not what a Dear Abby column looks like.
No, but yeah, you showed me some and I thought they were the worst ones I've ever seen. And then they got progressively worse. And I'm like, how are these real? How are they, like, these people don't have real friends. And then I said, imagine if we were at a convention and you had all your books splayed out and they all looked like this and I didn't tell you. And you're like, that would never happen. I'm like, I know, crazy. And then we also brought up the point that we would never buy or pick up an ugly book. Like, it's the essence of the book.
Judging a book by its cover, I can't believe you.
You can believe it. You do it too.
I do. I absolutely do.
Yes, you have to.
Someone has to be thinking about how it's portrayed.
Yes. And it has to look professional. It can't look like a weird book you find on a shelf in a kindergarten classroom. What is that? What are your font choices, bro?
That's another thing too that we used to go over with our clients, because our clients would come in and they would have like 14 fonts they wanted to use. And we were like, no, you don't understand. Fonts that we use have font families. And like they do. They really do. Font families is a thing.
I feel the frustration. That's why I'm laughing.
Yeah, and it's like you can have your display type, then you've got like your serif for text and your sans serif for another little like minor header. We're working with 3, like that's it. And they're going to be related and they're going to look good together.
Can I use papyrus? Fuck my life.
And Comic Sans.
Ah!
Just ask a friend.
Just literally ask a friend. And don't get upset. Just be like, maybe not everybody's an artist. Sorry, they're not. Not everybody has an artistic eye. And you just gotta ask. Like literally, if you're even weird about it, if you're even questioning it, ask like 5 friends and see what they think. And perhaps look up some really successful books and see if they remotely fucking look like your book, because they don't.
You get so upset.
The ones that you showed me were out of control. I will never be over it. I expect you to send me more, and I don't know how you're going to find worse ones than you did.
Just for anyone listening,
I almost spit my drink out.
I would like to point out that Jessica and I just recently designed a t-shirt that will be coming out soon.
Yeah, and it's sick as fuck too.
And we went back and forth and we made changes and went through rounds and moved this over. And some things I didn't agree with, but I did them and they worked. Some things you didn't agree with and they worked. And that's like, you have to get out of just your head.
Yes, that's what I love about you and me, like our relationship with stuff always is like, you can say shit to me and I don't take offense to it, and I can say shit to you and you don't take offense to it either, because it's just being honest. And it's like, I don't want to have 10 different sentences come out before the real truth comes out. Like, can we just fucking say it? I'm not gonna like hold your hand. It's just a time waster. Like, can we just and you don't take it personally, and you don't get I mean, I'm sure sometimes you get frustrated, but you're not like, I don't know.
If I'm ever frustrated, it's simply because I am moving outside of my own head. And my frustration is with myself not being able to do that more easily.
Yes.
But I don't put that frustration onto you.
No.
I see it as like a mechanism for me to grow.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, like that's like 1% of the population. People don't act like that.
These are rules that can be applied to over every aspect of your life.
Listen, we said on the last episode, or the one before that, I don't remember, where we said we are all here to grow, people. So that's what we're doing right now. Your growth this week, ladies and gentlemen, is to show other people stuff that you're working on before you release it to the public. And if they think it looks kind of crazy or amateurish or not even centered on the page, maybe you should maybe you should fix it.
Not even centered.
Oh my God, bro. Okay. Anyway, that's enough about that. So this doesn't have anything to do with anything, but
does it ever?
It literally nothing that we talk about has anything to do with anything. The most irrelevant, nonsensical podcast ever made. We have a What's Up Weirdo YouTube page. You should go subscribe to it. We do our live shows on there, and I've been slowly uploading some of our past Patreon videos on there, so you can check those out. But also, not every Patreon video ever is gonna make it over there. There's some that are like very personal to us, and I don't know, just stuff we want to keep in the Patreon. So if you want to watch the YouTube videos, go subscribe to youtube.com/whatsupweirdo. And if you want to see the secret vids and contests and all the fun that we're having in Patreon, go to patreon.com/whatsupweirdo.
I can't believe you're doing the hit that subscribe button, ring that bell, like and subscribe.
Well,
2 thumbs up.
Okay, well, I spend a lot of time making our videos, and it's really nice when people actually say that they enjoy them and they watch them, and people have been doing that on the YouTube. So sorry, it's just,
you've been getting a lot of love on your videos.
I know, it's so cute.
You've been getting a lot of love in the comments of Apple too.
I know, we got such nice Apple reviews lately. Everybody's so nice. Yeah, if you haven't, okay.
Were you gonna do more of that?
Yeah, it helps us if people go to Apple Podcasts and review the podcast, or hit 5 stars, or say something nice. So if you want to do that, fine. If you don't, fine. Whatever
you want to do. Share a tweet, like an Instagram post.
Pet a bug.
It doesn't help us, but it helps the bug.
Hey, it helps the bug. Everybody's having a good time. The Lions lost.
Ugh, devastating.
Dun, dun, dun. What's the opposite of
that sound from The Price is Right?
Oh yeah.
Bum, bum, ba, bum. Wow.
Yeah, that's the Lions voice right now. It was so exciting. Like I could give a fuck about football, but when Detroit gets behind something and the city's really excited, it is the cutest feeling.
When Detroit gets behind stuff, all of a sudden you're in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we light our buildings up blue and we all get stoked. People are getting tattoos. Like it gets crazy around here and I get excited and it was really cute. We have a reputation of being like a down on your luck. I don't know. You know, Detroit people are like scared to come here and it's like, oh, Detroit sucks at this. And our team has never been to the Super Bowl ever. So like when it started to happen, people were like, oh. It was kind of like that thing where you're like, you're not supposed to look for a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You're supposed to like when you're not looking, it's going to happen. And then nobody was fucking looking at the Lions, that's for sure. And then all of a sudden, we're almost in the Super Bowl. People were like, oh, but no, it was really close. It came down to 34-31. I think it was such an exciting game too. I feel like it's going to be more exciting than the Super Bowl itself.
I think it was a really good game. It was really exciting. It was very devastating those last 2 quarters.
Yeah. I was texting people at the half that we were up 21-7, and then it just real bad things happened in the third.
For anybody who listens to sports and knows about sports, it's pretty much the Detroit style, though, is that we do really, really well and then just fuck it at the very end.
I was glad though that we didn't get completely blown out of the water and it did look like we belonged there. Like it would have been high key embarrassing if it would have been like 40-3 and people were like, they don't, wow, how it was fluky that they got here. Like at least it didn't look fluky.
I don't want to even imagine what it was like at my sister's house with my brother-in-law and my nephew. My brother-in-law, Michael, when he watches a football game, he stands like with his arms folded the whole time.
Yeah, he's a dad. All dads do that.
Do they really?
Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. That's so sad. I know. I felt like my dad's sadness like through the phone. I was like, man, this is a bummer. They've been waiting a long time. But I read something cute that I didn't know that our Detroit Lions logo used to be yellow. Didn't know that. That was back a million years ago. And also we were one of the original 8 teams.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So we're original 6 hockey, original 8 football, and we have never been to the Super Bowl, but we were close.
I am so not a sports person. I was thinking about this when I was watching the Detroit Lions. I've only ever been to one football game, Detroit Lions football game.
I've never been to one ever.
And I went when it was at the Pontiac Silverdome.
Mm-hmm.
The Silverdome hasn't existed for 7 years.
I saw Metallica at the Silverdome and it was fucking amazing. No, it's the biggest place ever. There's like clouds in there.
It is pretty big.
It's so tall. Well,
Yeah.
it was. It's not there anymore.
No, I saw U2 there.
Wow.
Yeah, on the Joshua Tree tour.
That would have been so sick. I don't even care about YouTube, but that would have been sick. I would have gone.
It was pretty fucking sick.
Who did they play with?
They played with Lone Justice.
Who is that?
Exactly. It was a band in the 80s.
Dang.
It was crazy. It was packed. And that was the first time I had ever been in a place where there were like 70,000 people all standing up. And at one point, Bono brought up the lights because they were singing the song Pride in the Name of Love.
Mm-hmm.
And he turned the lights up and everybody was singing together. And it was like this moment where I was like, oh, fuck. Like I was overcome with like emotion, like seeing all these random, diverse, different people all singing the same lyrics to a song. Crazy.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot of people.
And then decades later, when they demolished and blew up the Silverdome, you could hear it at my house.
I think I remember that.
Yeah, they used so much dynamite and TNT that I and you, I think 20 miles away, could hear it.
How long ago was that?
7 years ago.
Yeah, I think I remember. Well, that was the time that what was it? Asteroid fell too, and we heard that shit.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy. That was like what? Like 35 minutes from here? 25?
Yeah, I actually drove out to thought to be the impact site.
Mm-hmm.
And we got out there. I don't know if you know this story because a friend of mine came and picked me up and we drove out to where the impact site was. And we got out there and there were just cops everywhere and you couldn't get near the site. And then they told us, oh, it says on the website for earthquakes that this is the impact site, but it actually impacted like 60 miles away.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I remember when it happened, people thought it was one place, but then didn't it end up being a completely other place?
I still don't think that that's true because all those cops, that area was completely surrounded. They weren't letting anybody into the field. There were fighter jets from Selfridge Air Force Base that were circling the sky over it. There was a Japanese news crew that was there by the time we got there.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they found recovered pieces of the meteor, they found them 85 miles away.
Yeah, right.
Sitting on top of the snow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was real fucked up. I think that I still to this day think that, so like right around this time, here's Conspiracy John, right around this time, one of the very first Musk satellites disappeared.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it was a Tesla satellite crashed, and that's why the police got there so fast. That's why it was being like, and then I think that they pawned it off as a meteor exploding, but I think it was probably like one of the first Tesla SpaceX satellites blew up.
I thought I remember hearing that people found pieces of it though, but I guess that could be fabricated too.
Yeah, it was, like I said, they found pieces of it on top of the snow, on top of a lake, and it was found by a guy who looks for meteors who was from a college.
Yeah. You're like, isn't that convenient?
Yeah, very convenient.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad that didn't fall on our head.
Me too. Can happen at any time.
I know. Happened. Well, that I won't say it in Donnie Darko, but that was like an airplane.
I think there's only one woman that's ever been hit by an
asteroid.
Yeah.
How's she doing?
She was sleeping in bed when it hit her.
She's dead, right?
No, she survived.
Oh my God. Breaking news.
It was many years ago, I believe. People forget that the majority of the Earth, because we do get hit by a lot of stuff, but the majority of the Earth is water and nobody lives there. So
dang, we got to find out about this lady. Like that would, wait, what's the thing I'm thinking of where there's, what am I thinking of? What is those pictures of some lady that got like half of her body taken off? Was that asteroid? Was that lightning? What was that? No, I have to think. I feel like I've seen like old like black and white photos of like a lady that got hit by something, but then she lived and it was like really fucked up, but I don't remember.
It might be the same lady.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. I'm like, have I seen this before?
Maybe. She got hit in the side, like her stomach, and maybe
yeah.
Got a huge bruise on the side of her stomach.
I feel like I've seen a photo of it. Mr. Mullen did this story.
That's from Alabama.
Yeah, this all sounds very familiar. Maybe I'm her. Maybe I was there. Maybe I'm fine now.
70 years ago.
I look great. It's me and I look fantastic.
70 years ago, someone was hit by a meteorite.
That's a pretty good average if that's the only one we got.
That's a pretty good one.
Speaking of people,
time is coming for someone else. Everybody keep looking up.
Speaking of time coming for people, we had a whole bunch of DMs about you asking if Kirstie Alley was on the Emmys.
Oh yeah. Jesus Christ! I'll for sure take the L on that one.
Just DMs, Twitter comments. Does Tenney know Kirstie Alley's dead? I'm like, I'm sure he does. We can't control every word that comes out of our mouth on here.
Here's the thing, and this is for true, absolutely true. Like 6 years ago, Kirstie Alley and I got into it on Twitter.
About what?
She's a Scientologist. And we had a back and forth about Xenu and Scientology and brainwashing stuff. And then she called me a name and blocked me.
Dang.
And that's when she just fell off my radar. So like, I just didn't even keep in mind that she had passed away.
What did she call you?
I don't know. It was just something like, she's just like closed-minded jerks like you or something like that.
Yeah.
It wasn't anything terrible. It was just her shutting me down.
Well, RIP, I guess. I don't know what to say, but funny that we forgot that she was dead.
I guess it is.
Probably going to happen again in the future when we bring up somebody else. So sorry.
Probably.
Nobody's perfect. We're not perfect.
You have to remember, too, part of my brain lives in 1955. So
right. So she's definitely still alive there.
Like James Dean just died to me. That's a big thing. Yeah.
You're moving at your own pace. Where you are in your brain, every celebrity is still alive. You live in a I can't think of a word. I was going to say Narnia, but that's not the word I was thinking of.
No, it's close enough. Narnia is fine.
In Narnia, Kirstie Alley is still alive. And then under it, quote, the What's Up Weirdo podcast. Another thing that we haven't mentioned on it, well, we kind of mentioned it, but you went on our Patreon live recently and said that you're doing 10-10 Tenney, which is, will you say what it is?
I'm going to do monthly Q&A sessions with our Patreon, and it's going to be on the 10th every month at 10 p.m., and it's going to have me only. So it's 10-10-10. Tenney.
Oops, all Tenney.
Oops, all Tenney, and I'll answer any questions anybody has if I can answer them.
Yes. So if you have comments from our episodes on here or any ghost stories that you want to tell Tenney or any questions, just save them, write them down on a little notepad or something, and then ask Tenney during his live streams, 1010 Tenney.
Yeah. Or like if I say something on my TikTok that you think is interesting.
Yeah. Tenney's really going hard in the paint on the TikToks lately.
You know how it is. I got a lot of comments because I talked about how I use chalk in my witchcraft and magic purposes.
Mm-hmm.
And the chalk that I use is called Hagoromo chalk. And it's the secret chalk that's used by 99% of physicists and mathematicians. They all use the same chalk because they think it's magic.
That's so cute to me.
They think that when you use that chalk, you can't write a wrong theory on the chalkboard. And so that when you buy it, it comes already. We talk all the time about intention and like putting your spirit into it. Like you can order this chalk, and that chalk is being used all over the world by thousands of physicists and mathematicians, and it comes to you to do your magic like with the intention of thousands of the smartest people in the world using it for decades.
That's so cute. Whoever thought of that is cute.
But everything I use is like that. Like I try and find those things that like I use pencils a lot when I keep notes and stuff. And like I use Blackwing 602s, which are like usually if you went on eBay right now and tried to buy a Blackwing 602, you're probably going to pay $50 for that pencil.
One pencil?
Yes.
Where did you get them all?
So, I mean, I've had a stockpile of them for years. I'm down to about my last dozen.
Now you're going to get a bunch in the P.O. box, maybe.
I doubt it. I've seen those pencils go for like $400.
That's so dumb.
A pencil.
What does it feel like?
It's really, really good pencil.
I just want to know the smoothness at which it writes.
It's like, so smooth. So like it has in the lead of the pencil, they add wax to it.
Ooh.
So it writes really smooth. And then the eraser on the pencil is like flat so that when you set it down, it won't roll.
Oh,
it's so cool.
What do they smell like? Gonna get real creepy with it.
They smell like magic.
Yeah.
But there's lots of stuff like that. Like people just need to like find the thing that works best for them. And I like using stuff that other people have found to be the perfect thing.
What are they called again?
Blackwing 602. I'm sure you can buy cheap versions of them now on Amazon and stuff. I'm sure you can find them somewhere. Don't pay $50 for a pencil.
Okay, pencil heads out there. You got your tip. You got your hot tip.
Pencil and chalk heads is a big episode for you.
The episode for office supply freaks. Okay, so I gotta say something stupid.
What is new? Shocker.
Shock of the century. Kind of in the same vein as me finding out that cinnamon is made from trees. I didn't know. I'm gonna be honest here, and let me know if you already knew this, which you probably already do. I was today years old when I found out that, okay, I always thought this was my operating procedure from birth. I thought a couple is 2 and a few is 3. And I just now found out recently that a few can be 2. That's so fucking stupid to me that I was like infuriated. That doesn't make any sense. Why would you also call it few when there's already the word couple? That don't make no sense. I hate it so much. There should be designated where 2 is 2, couple is 2, few is 3 or more. How is few 2? I'm telling you right now, I'm furious about it. That doesn't make any sense to me. I just always pictured it in my head as 3, literally 3. Few is 3, not 2.
I guess for me, few has always been 3 and up. Like
yes,
few is 3 to 6.
Literally same. I would never post a picture of 2 things and be like, here's a few things. No, it's 2. That's a couple.
Yeah.
But that's not true. When you Google it, I swear it says a few can be 2 or more. I'm like, this is bullshit and nothing is real. I hate it. I'm never using it that way, but at least I know now, but I'm not doing it.
What's many?
I don't know. I don't know what the official definition is.
For you in your brain, if I say there's many of those are over there.
I don't know, probably like 10 or more.
There you go. Perfect. Many is 10 and up.
Yeah. Now you're going to Google it and it's going to say many can be 2. And you're going to be like, no, it can't. No, it can't. No.
Couple is 2.
Couple is 2. Few is 3 or more.
Yeah.
But under many.
Yes.
I hate it here. Somebody messed that up. Maybe it's like regional.
I don't know. If I told you a few friends are coming over
and 2 came over, I would be like, where's the other one?
Where's everybody else?
No. I'm so mad. I'm getting so red. Oh.
I have a few friends coming over, and then 2 people show up, and you're like, oh, so it's just a couple people?
Yes. Oh my God, my eyes are watering. I'm so mad. I'm so mad. I have to write to the dictionary. This is not real. I'm so glad you agree. I was ready for you to not agree.
I agree.
Fuck, that made me so mad. Oh, anyway, I watched for the first time ever in my life the other day. I watched Terms of Endearment, and then
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I didn't know.
You didn't know. You don't know it's coming.
I did not know. No one ever told me. I didn't know what it was about. And then you're watching a basic movie for about 80% of the movie, and then it turns into the saddest thing ever.
Yeah, it doesn't end well.
Punches you right in the gut out of seemingly for no reason. That was rough.
Did it win awards? Did you look that up?
Yeah, it won Best Picture. Jack Nicholson won for Best Supporting Actor, and Shirley MacLaine won Best Actress. Overall, it won 5 Oscars.
Oh, that's a big one.
Jack Nicholson was funny in that movie. I was texting Andrea Perrin while I was watching it.
In tears.
I know, it was funny because while I was watching it, something about Shirley MacLaine was like reminding me of her. I don't know if it was her eyes or the way she talks, like something was reminding me of her. And I swear, right while I was watching it and thinking of her, she fucking texted me out of nowhere during the movie. I'm like, of course, she like heard my brain. And then we were talking about how back in the day, like Jack Nicholson in whatever movie he walks into, he's like the guy that's gonna steal your lady. He's like the lady killer. Like a guy would never look like that now in a movie. And be just like, oh, he's like the cad. He's like the, like what?
Yes.
And he never looked that young ever. He has like one old weird horror movie, and then he looked 55 forever.
And then he looked like Jack Nicholson.
Yes. But somehow he's the latest. Like, how did he get written into that role?
And then I started suggesting that you should watch sadder movies to make yourself feel better.
I know. I tweeted about it, and everybody had the worst suggestions ever. I'm not watching those right now.
I'm like, watch Dancer in the Dark. Cheer yourself up.
Oh, listen, I watched that movie at the Main Art Theater one time, and I never watched it again.
You should never watch it again.
There's movies you watch once and then you never watch again. Like, what's that one with Jared Leto and the fucking scene that nobody ever wants to see again?
Requiem for a Dream.
Yeah, I'm never watching that again.
Yeah, there's no reason to watch that a second time.
Oh, I was talking to Katie about Terms of Endearment, and she brought up Fried Green Tomatoes, and I fucking love that movie so much.
It's a saddie.
It's so sad, but it's so cute and good.
After Dancer in the Dark, I suggested that you watch Hachi, A Dog's Tale with Richard Gere.
Yeah, why would you show me a movie where a dog dies?
The dog doesn't die until the very end. It's based on a real story about a Japanese professor who became friends with a dog, and the dog would walk with him to the train station every day. And then after the mathematics professor died, the dog became famous because he would still go to the train station every day and wait for him to come back.
You want me to watch that? Come on. I am not watching
The dog went to the train station every day until the dog died.
I'm not watching that. I'm sure it's lovely, but I'm not watching it.
It's sad.
I'm not watching it. I saw a pet psychic on Instagram the other day say that dogs, one of their biggest complaints that she hears them say in her head, I don't know how any of this works, but is that they hate old water, like yucky days old water, or if there's like backwash in their water, they hate it and they need fresh water more often. That's like their number one complaint. So now I've been like obsessed with changing Toad's water. Like he's mad at me. I don't know if he is. I don't know if that's true, but it makes sense. Oh, she said that she hears it from like cats if they have to drink off the same water as dogs and it's like drooly. I'm like, I get that.
Yeah. If you find an old water glass around your house, do you drink it?
No. See, that's why I agreed. Once I heard it, I was like, yeah, if I sleep with water next to my bed and then you wake up, it tastes fucking weird.
I drink my old water.
It's contaminated.
I drink it.
Okay, well, listen, if you, maybe not overnight, like if you put new ice cubes in it, sometimes it's better, but I don't know.
All the chlorine evaporates out of it.
That's not real.
I mean, I think it is. Like when you have fish, you're supposed to let the water stand overnight so that it can all the stuff can evaporate out.
I don't think anybody does that. I think they just dump them back in there.
Well, they use that water purifier drops a lot of the time. But you can just let the water stand. You know what really blew people's minds talking about stuff that was said on the internet?
What?
So one of my friends, Bruce, posted on Twitter this conspiracy going around about the Oreo cookie.
What now?
Well, just the design of an Oreo cookie, like where does it come from? Because it's got all those weird like flowers and shapes and crosses on it and stuff.
Yeah.
And back in the 90s, when I would do conspiracy lectures, I would actually use the Oreo cookie conspiracy to talk about how you can make anything into a conspiracy. But that's not what blew anybody's minds. What blew everybody's minds is when I said the Oreo cookie is just ripping off the Hydrox cookie.
Yeah.
And then people were like, wait, what? And I was like, yeah, Hydrox cookies were first, and then Oreos copied them.
I heard that.
But that blew people's minds. People have always thought that Hydrox were knockoff Oreo cookies, when it's really Oreos are knockoff Hydrox cookies.
Read it and weep.
And the design on those cookies, the reason the designs are weird like that is because they're based on like European waffle presses. Because you used to try and make your food look nice, and plus you wanted like a crispy top. So like the reason a waffle maker is waffled is because like the top will cook faster than the inside, so you get like a crunchy top and a soft inside.
Yeah.
And so like they would make these real intricate designs for their waffles in Europe. And then when it came to making cookies and biscuits, people just carried over the putting those little flowers and stuff on it.
That's cute.
It's not the Knights Templar made a fucking chocolate cookie.
I like conspiracy theories. Okay.
But people are like, but nobody knows who designed the Oreo cookie design. It's like, yeah, most designers, nobody knows who they fucking are.
No.
Most people who've designed the stuff that you love, you'll never know who that designer was.
It's true. But I know that the person who designed the little table that goes in your pizza box, a little plastic table, was invented by a woman. And I love it. Every time I see it, I'm like, yeah, you go, girl.
Well, most people don't know that Millicent Patrick, who was a makeup and special effects designer, was the woman who created Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Dang.
Imagine that icon right there.
Perfect. Millicent coming in.
Coming in hot with a Creature from the Black Lagoon, one of the most iconic monsters of all time.
Seriously, that's nuts. Another art adjacent thing that I saw today. Sony has a new movie coming out called, well, it was supposed to be called Horoscope, but they changed it to be called Tarot. And on the movie poster, they show like tarot cards and blah, blah, blah. And I saw another guy on there who's like a creature creator. And he's like, yeah, I made some of the monsters and blah, blah, blah. And then another guy I saw tweeting, yeah, I designed the cards. And guess who it is?
Richard Wells.
Your buddy.
It's Slippery Jack.
I know. I was so stoked. I'm like, wait, the guy that it makes the artwork that Tenney buys designed the tarot cards in this new horror movie for Sony. And that made me so happy for him because honestly, I know you know him and I know him through you, like of him through you, but he doesn't have like millions of followers or anything. So for them to find this like niche, really talented fucking artist, I'm really impressed by that.
There are very few artists. I have 4 pieces of his art in my house. There are very few fucking artists. I have 4 on the walls, taking up wall space.
I swear, I literally said the same thing. I talked to Katie earlier and I go, the only art that Teddy buys, like art from people, he has this guy's stuff. It's so like such a coincidence.
He does really cool stuff. I'm really happy for him.
I was like really excited for him when I saw that. So sick. So I hope the movie's good. It looks good. It looks, it's kind of like in the same vein as Talk to Me, where like it looks like somebody's reading the cards and then the people kind of get haunted by whatever card they get, but it gets manifested in like a monster version of what's on that card, which sounds kind of sick.
I'll take it.
I know. I think it comes out in May 10th. So I'm sure we'll go see it.
Next week, we have to take a whole bunch of people to a horror movie.
We do. I forget what studio it is, but we were asked to host the Detroit area screening of Diablo Cody's new movie, Lisa Frankenstein. And we got to take 8 Patreons with us. And we get to give out prizes before the screening. So that's going to be super cute.
That'll be fun.
I know. I hope it's good. I like Diablo Cody's movie, so I think it'll be cute.
You think with Bride of Frankenstein should be called Bride of Frankenstein's Monster?
Like technically yes, but it doesn't have the same ring to it.
Right.
But yeah, I see people getting real irate about that online when people are talking about the Frankenstein movie that's coming up soon. Like, he's not called Frankenstein, he's Frankenstein's monster.
I'm trying to remember when they did that movie, the I, Frankenstein movie with Aaron Eckhart.
Yikes.
Did you ever see that?
No.
What a disaster.
Yeah, that doesn't sound good.
It was right around the time they were putting out those like super big CGI horror movie monster movies like Van Helsing.
I didn't see that either. Was Van Helsing the Hugh Jackman?
Van Helsing was Hugh Jackman, yes.
Yes. Still didn't watch it, but
Oh, and they also put out, it was like Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman, and then they put out Hansel and Gretel Witch Hunters with Jeremy Renner.
oh,
And then they put out that other one where it was like Nicolas Cage was a witch hunter.
in what?
Yeah, I think it was called Season of the Witch.
Sorry, Nick Cage. I love you to death, but
And then I think they even did a Vin Diesel one where he was hunting witches.
I didn't watch any of this.
Yeah, Last Witch Hunter with Vin Diesel. Something like that.
I'd rather watch Terms of Endearment again. Like, all right, is that everything? Do you have anything? Oh, Squeaksy!
Oh, geez. Once the ball starts squeaking, I'm done. You got anything else? I'm going to take that as a no.
No, I don't have it. That's it.
Perfect.
That's it.
If you're looking for something to wake you up, listeners, get yourself some Old Town Roasting.
Old Town Roasting. Go to AdamBerryMerch.com. Pew!
Pew. All right.
All right.
We'll talk to you later.
Sure.
All right. I'll send you some more bad book covers.
Oh my God, I can't.
I've got a lot. I've got a lot of them stored up.
Can't look at them. You guys go ahead. Hey, you guys out there, if you're writing a book and you want us to look at the cover and give you our brutally honest opinion, you go ahead and DM it to me because I'm ready.
I'm ready too.
We are both ready to critique your artwork. Can your heart handle it? Question mark.
Yes, our listeners have strong hearts.
Okay, we gotta go.
Okay.
All right, friend. Good job.
Good job, Brent.
Talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye. Okay.